Hi, ladies. What's up? I'm your girl, Jiggly Caliente. And I'm so excited to be here with Billboard Pride for Spilling the Tea.
Get him out of here.
It was so formal. It was so, you were giving, okay.
She's feeling her interview fish.
Yeah, let me get my little, the real moment.
How dare you? That Diane Sawyer killed me.
This is like the version of The View, shit.
Okay,
Take two,
do it
take
one more
two.
time.
I gotta be on tape.
Take a deep breath.
So, I wanna get a little risky, play a game.
Oh.
Y'all feeling it? Okay.
I don't usually play games, but come on with it.
I
I don't really play games, but I guess I will today.
All right, we're gonna play Never Have I Ever.
Oh.
Ready? Mm-hmm. So bring out the paddles.
Oh. Paddles.
Never have I ever gotten
Paddled on.
She had to think real close about that one.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
I want mine to say, yeah, I did.
Oh,
no, I
okay.
didn't. I did.
You know what? I'm gonna start it off and we're gonna get it popping right now.
Okay.
So,
Get it
Never
poppin'.
have I ever been DP'd?
Bitch, that was mine.
Wait. For those children at home that don't know what that is, I think you need to clarify.
Director of photography.
Yeah, so no, Gia,
Never
you
have I ever been the
clarified.
director of photography.
You wanna
tell
clarify,
us.
Gia?
Well, I mean, I actually have never. It is on my bucket list, but
Inspirations.
I have not. But I envy those that have. So which one of y'all hoes have?
I really wish I have.
How you
never have
I
only one. Bitch, wait, you said never have I ever.
Yeah, well, I wanted to see which one of y'all have done it.
Nah,
Is
she's
that
a
the
liar.
game?
She's a liar. You a lie. You a lie.
I've done it.
like more than once?
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Did you
You've
have to
done
go
it?
to the emergency room after?
No.
Oh, girl. Oh,
She like, bitch, I went to IHOP. Celebs.
okay, Bob.
Denny's, but I
Your
guess-
turn.
Then you know it didn't happen in New York. She was on tour when it happened, bitch. Oh, honey. Oh. You
She
know
was
it.
she was in Wisconsin.
Really,
Jacksonville.
bitch. Jacksonville?
Jacksonville.
Florida?
Yeah.
Girl.
They got her good.
That's,
girl.
yeah.
That's the alligator trade. Work,
What
girl.
is this, girl? That was going to be mine. I need to think about it.
I can go.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
Never have I ever gotten into a physical altercation in drag.
Oh, fuck. Oh,
I have
snap.
not.
I did.
You the only classy one here,
I'm
apparently.
sorry, I've never gotten into a fight my whole life.
Really?
I've always had friends fight me.
To fight for you.
Do you know how to,
I've never had a fist fight.
do you know how to throw a punch?
Show us your fist.
Do you want me to try?
Yeah, hit my hands. Come on.
Watch out. No, bitch. Watch out. That's a New York trick. She's going to steal your wallet, bitch.
I gotta do a Chun Li. Okay, let me try.
I'm going to die. But
I don't really have a lot of force, but like,
We know, girl.
you know, the T blockers, girl, they get you good, girl. But let me try. Okay, I don't want to hurt you.
You have a ring on. She has a ring on.
I am
let
a
me
big
try. Are you
man. We'll be
ready?
good. Yeah.
Okay.
Not hitting her in the face.
That was a good punch.
Was it good?
If that was my face, that would have really hurt.
Would it?
I'd be like,
Well, I'm gonna get them good next
So
time.
now you have
if
to
they
flip your
try me.
sign.
Okay,
would've did it
I
with
just
the
got
ring.
it. Yeah.
No, my physical altercation was I was at a bar in the city called Hardware, and this guy, there's a video online. This guy
my
came up to the
God.
stage while I was lip syncing, and he grabbed me, and he would not let me go. And I was like, "Hey, you need to let me go." He would let me go. I was like, "Dude, get off me!" And then he wouldn't, so I just had to take him down to the ground.
God. And no,
During
they
your
all stood around.
During my show.
They
saw that
stood
video.
around during your show and just like, yes, they didn't even help you?
Everyone just like,
Did they tip
You bitches.
and then I just slammed him down. And I was like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna go ahead and go. I'm gonna go now. This has been great."
No, they were like, no, girl, do another number.
Not you body slammed him
When I
in the
s-
middle of your number.
When I slammed him, they were like,
thought it was part of the show.
I think so.
Girl,
I mean,
was,
this is not choreography. I'm in a fight right now.
I was at this bar that used to be in Brooklyn named Chi&Chi, and we were
And
there.
that's
on
the only time you didn't get into a fight.
No, oh no. Well, we were doing our Friday night, and I was there with Momo Shade, and there was some guy there who was like going off, and he had just punched her like in the chest for no reason.
Momo.
So she started walking my way, and I was like, "Did that guy just punch you?" And before she could say yes, my shoes flew off
Magically.
and I ran at him. Yeah, it was like, girl, I flew.
That is so
I flew.
shady.
And I just
I
ran
would've been
over,
pissed.
and I was ready to get him. And well, actually, he was like throwing punches, so I just grabbed his hands, like trying to like restrain him. And then he just like punched me and snatched my wig, and we started going at it. And then it took the security guard, the camera guy, and like the security assistant who does the door to like grab me off of him. They put me in the basement, and I was like, bitch, I was like, I'm gonna go
Our
upstairs.
second home,
and
the
they
basement.
were like, are you okay? Are you good? And I looked at them, and I knew there was another entrance to the front on the other side. So I was
no,
like,
so you went
I'm
out?
good, I'm good. And then I ran out the front, and I went and found him, and I was screaming at him.
Where
but
was he? He didn't leave?
He was in the front.
If you just got into a fight, bitch, leave.
Oh, but then
Who fights like, I'm just gonna grab one more drink?
But girl, then the supporters, the queer supporters outside, they were like, you hit a drag queen, and they just started, they jumped in.
wow.
It was a melee.
Girl, it was fierce.
Brooklyn.
Welcome to
I
Brooklyn.
gag.
I was on the subway with my girlfriends. This was at
Ooh, this sounds good.
Oh, not Subway. Oh, this is before iPhone. So
Yeah,
when
this
nobody like
before-
this.
this-
World star.
This was before iPhones,
Out here in
darling.
New York.
Here in New York.
This
I
is
was
before
on the
desktop
subway,
computers, probably.
And I was wearing this gorgeous.
Dial up. AOL.
She was on the
Suck a
train
dick,
in the
bitch.
1890s.
We were at the rail yards pushing the train back in.
Shoveling gold. Shoveling gold for
Anyway, we were on the train. I was looking real cute, had an afro on. We were in college, going down to the club. And these dudes were on the train and, like, looking like they're about to start trouble. But they waited until their stop, or until some stop, to get off the train and take a lighter and try to set my afro on fire.
No.
So I reached, grabbed his hand, and smacked him real good.
Work.
And then he ran off the train. That's my fight, but I
How
feel like
did you
that's pretty
smack
good.
him? Real good.
Because he was like beside me. My girlfriend was like, your hand's on fire!
Okay.
Wait, it got on fire? It didn't catch on fire. It was like, the Kanekalon was new then. Non-flammable wig was
It was a
brand
little
new.
sizzle. It was a little sizzle.
It was a little sizzle. It like melted and singed.
It was
And
like a
we
little
went to
flex.
the club, girl.
Michael Jackson style, performing
Girl.
in a Pepsi commercial, fully on fire. Work.
What about you, girl?
Mine was back at the Web, and one of the go-go
Rest in peace,
dancers-
Webb. Rest in peace, Webb.
Yeah, and actually, Yuha was there. It was one night. The Go-Go Boys were playing pranks with each other, and so they hid one of these guys' bags. His name was Merlot, and
Merlot, like the wine?
Yeah.
No, like the wizard. Yeah.
Why?
So he was like, so they hit his bag. He couldn't find it. He was looking for it, and I'm sitting back there just giggling because I'm like, it's literally above your head. If you look up, his bag is right there. Like he just wasn't looking up. It was just looking down.
Right.
So I was giggling, and then he was like, and he came at me like, yo, you hit it. I'm like, dude, I don't even play that game. Get the fuck out of my face before you get knocked.
Right.
Today is not the day. I was in my feelings. I was like, today is not the day. And so I sat back down, and he literally tapped me on my crotch. He says, I'll fight you. You still a dude.
Oh, honey.
Oh, honey.
No.
Keywords
Oh,
was
darling.
right there.
She
And
pulled a
I
Gia
am-
Gunn season 6. Y'all are still some dudes.
I am not like a clean fighter. Whatever I see,
Street fighter.
I will
Scrapper.
grab.
Okay.
And so the bar back was cutting up limes.
Oh.
So I
Tell
grabbed
me,
the
please
knife.
tell me you
I
threw a
thought you got
line.
the
I let you grab the lions that was in his eyes. Squeezing lime juice.
Yeah, no, I grabbed the knife and came after. It took like
You grabbed the knife?
Yeah, I grabbed the knife and went after him.
So you cut him and then you squeeze the lime
I
on top of
couldn't because they grabbed me. As soon as I grabbed the knife, everybody else went and grabbed me.
Well, you should be so lucky you wouldn't be sitting here.
Wow, y'all are
Yeah, girl.
furious.
But
Was
why
it like a
didn't you
little
grab the
knife, or was he
limes?
cutting lines with like a katana?
Girl, I was like, I saw it, so I was just like, and I couldn't. They just grabbed me, and they were like, they took him out, and then he got fired. So
You
I'm
sound
good.
upset that you didn't get to stab him.
I
She was trying to do
am.
a homemade
Yeah, he
appendectomy,
called
bitch.
me a dude.
They wouldn't
Are
let
you
me stab him.
crazy?
They wouldn't let
They
me stab him.
wouldn't. I was like, He ran into my knife 10 times. That's what I'm saying.
The
Don't
girls
ever,
are fighting.
Ever.
The girls are fighting.
Girls are.
That's like, I will let anything slide. You can call me a hot mess, but you question my womanhood, I'm going to turn the right about it on you.
Yeah, that's a
She'll stab
trigger
you.
point.
Hey, you know, I'm just,
fierce.
now that we're on the topic, I know it's off topic, but I just want to ask the ladies, because, you know, it happens sometimes in our environments, especially with gay dudes. Sometimes they do disrespect, and they know that that's a trigger point. But how, like, does that really affect you inside? Because I know for me, it does trigger me, but sometimes I'm just like, girl, they're just words. I know I'm not a dude, and honestly, you're just trying to stoop low and piss me off. But, like, what is it about that really, like,
For me, it's
gets
respect.
us
So if you're
good,
gonna
you know?
disrespect me, I lose it. I have literally no.
Because, like, yesterday I went
zero
to
to
literally
60.
Forever 21, and I was with my guy friend, and my friend was like, oh, do you know where, like, the sweaters are, and blah, 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 blah. And he, like, looked at me, and he was like, oh, well, the guy section is over there, and the
That's a
girls
read.
are over here. And I
Yeah.
said, are you misgendering me right in front of you? Do I look anything remotely close to a dude to you? And he said, no, I actually think you're quite beautiful. Stop being so negative and insecure. And I said, you know what? You're right, but fuck you. How dare you? I'm gonna go to the
How very
ladies
dare you,
section.
darling.
She's so
But I just
classy.
think that maybe it was like, sometimes I just think, like, for me personally, I do think sometimes, like, I'm expecting people to, like, portray me a certain way, and it are my insecurities, and I, like, pick up to those, like, things when in reality, I just need to be more comfortable about who I am and not let words, like, bring me down, you know? Because,
Yeah.
girl, at the end of the day, people can call you whatever they want.
But it's understandable because there are people in the world, and especially like even though our community is like more like advanced in that type of way, where
sure. Or they should be
You know,
anyway.
where people are more aware. There are instances where people do it to be hateful.
I think they're doing it to be nasty.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
can tell.
I'm a cisgender male, so I can't. I'm not like.
Correct.
I'm not like.
Right, exactly. And I know there's some drag queens that when they're in drag, they probably would get offended because personally, when I look at you, even though I know you are a drag queen, I'm not gonna call you like a dude
Yeah,
like, in front of you. You know what I mean?
In drag, in front of you.
You're behind your back.
But I just think it's also creating that conversation and creating more exposure so that people in the world know the difference between drag, trans, non-binary, and all these terms that I think sometimes at the end of the day, it does get confusing for people.
It is it's a process for so many people. For me, it's a process. I think towards the beginning of my transition, I was really sensitive and
Oh, for sure.
really in my head about
Right.
it. You know, I mean, I was even, you know, spooking myself, you know,
Right.
before I left the house.
Right.
And so I think a lot of it has to do with how we feel internally. It's true, there are microaggressions sometimes from queer folks
Oh,
and
yeah.
gay boys,
Yes.
gay girls in the bars and clubs who will say stuff that they know.
Disrespectful.
I think they feel like since they know they're in the family, they have the right,
right,
to,
yeah.
you know, I don't want anybody else to do it, but I'm going to get you good and
you
put
good.
you in your place. and it doesn't even have to be so direct. Sometimes if you walk in and you're with a date, you know, I've been at bars and seen trans girls come in with their boyfriends who, for sake of conversation, identify as straight.
Yeah.
And the girl goes to the bathroom or something, and then some gay dude rolls up on the guy and is like, well,
Spills
you
the
know you're
tea.
really with a man, right?
Right.
Oh.
And it's like, what the heck, you know, what's that all
That's
about?
What do you
shady.
get out of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still, like, you know, but also some people try to take certain people's ideology and push it on everyone else.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, it is like T.S. Madison is famous for saying, you know, it's not what you call, it's what you answer to. But everyone doesn't subscribe to that.
Correct.
So just because T.S. Madison said it, that might work for T.S. Madison. Maybe she is at a point where she's like, I don't care what you call me, I know what I am. But someone else is like, don't fucking call me that
Yeah.
under any
Right.
circumstances.
It's
Just
a-
because it's
it's
cool
a
for her doesn't
balance,
mean it's
yeah.
cool. You know what I mean?
I know when it's like done in
Malicious.
jest.
Yes.
But when it's
Yeah.
malicious, that's when I go tick.
Correct.
And I just
Yeah.
have no.
One thing that-
I'll admit that that's my biggest flaw, where
Same.
I have no like self-control
Yeah.
when it comes to that. I
Well,
go mad. I
especially
get
when
mad.
it's coming from somebody within the community, that's my biggest issue. Like these
lessons to be
security
learned, too.
guards or like these bar
security guards
managers
are the worst.
who are like either whether they identify as heterosexual or gay or whatever, it's just like, girl, you know what it is. Like literally, these drag shows and us queens are paying your bills. How dare you? You know what I mean? It's just like, girl, you work in this environment. I don't care
should
how
be
you
more
identify.
respectful.
Just have respect. You know what I mean?
All right, ladies. Okay, I know we skipped topic for a second, but I got a really cute question
that
for
was
y'all.
Thanks, Gia.
So what is your most surreal celebrity moment?
Mine was I was walking down the street as I usually do. And I was
night?
at night.
On the West Side Highway.
I was in college again on the Upper West Side, and I was in a rush to class. Somebody walked up kind of next to me, was walking their dog, and the dog was like the cutest dog ever. And so I was like looking at the dog, and we like struck up a conversation and walked a couple blocks. It was all about the dog and, you know, how cute it was and all that. And by the time we finished, we got ready to turn, and I looked up and I saw this curly haired lady. It was Bernadette Peters. And we had like walked 2 or 3 blocks together talking about her dog and just different things. And I didn't realize it was her.
How? Her voice is so distinct.
You know, I was in a rush and I really just was not I didn't imagine in a million years that I would be walking next to Bernadette Peters.
Okay.
You know, and so it was her. It was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
And then I met her again a couple weeks ago.
Now you're on Broadway.
Hello.
Now you're colleagues.
Get it,
So
Judge.
cool.
It was nice.
I had 2 kind of interesting ones. The one that was kind of funny was I was leaving work. I used to work at this restaurant that isn't there anymore. It's called Jekyll and Hyde Club.
Oh my God, remember Jekyll and Hyde?
Yeah, it was on
Which
57
one?
On 57th and 6th.
Okay, not the one downtown.
Yeah,
Okay.
and this guy was walking down the street, and I was like, oh my God, that looks just like Cuba. I was on the phone, and I was like, this guy in front of me looks like Cuba Gooding Jr. And then he turns around and he goes, I get that all the time.
No.
And then he kept walking, and I was like, I think that's Cuba Gooding Jr. And then he got to the corner and said, I am! And then he ran around the corner. I was like, and then that was the funniest one. And then the craziest one was when I met Whoopi Goldberg. Anyone knows me knows I'm obsessed with Whoopi Goldberg. I have a Whoopi Goldberg tattoo. So I went to go see her at Caroline's Comedy Club. And she was there, and she kept talking about this tattoo she has on her chest. And it was lyrics from a band, and she like told the band about the tattoo. And I was like, oh my God, I need to tell Whoopi about my tattoo. So I walked up and I was like, Whoopi, I gotta show you something. This is crazy. And I showed her the tattoo of her, and she was like, oh my goodness, are you Bob the drag queen? And I was like, yeah, I'm Bob the drag queen. She goes, my granddaughter is obsessed with you. Will you call my granddaughter on the phone? And I was like, can I get a picture? And she was like, sure. So I called her granddaughter, who I expected to be like 3 or 7. Her granddaughter was 27 at the time. It's crazy because Whoopi Goldberg is like young. She's like in her early 60s, late 50s maybe. And then Whoopi Goldberg, I talked to her granddaughter, and she was like, wait, what are you doing in 2 weeks? And I was like, I'm probably at a gig. She goes, come to my birthday party. It's in Las Vegas. We'll have a whole kiki. So I went with her and her granddaughter's birthday. Her and her granddaughter have the same birthday. So we were hanging out in Las Vegas. And then after her show, she was like, what are you doing on Monday? And I was like, well, Pep doesn't have a show. I was like, well, I'm not doing anything. And she goes, come to The View. It's my birthday show. So I spent like this whole weekend from like Friday to Monday just with Whoopi Goldberg.
That's amazing.
That
is
is
so
cool.
She gave me a pair of Louboutins that I can't fit.
Okay, well, I'll take them.
They're probably too big for you.
I'll take them.
Mine was literally when me and the Vixen did like this little like cameo for
You met the
Empire.
Vixen?
Yes, the Vixen. On Empire, the television show. And I'm like so stupid when it comes to celebrities and stuff like that. And I like literally don't really like ever freak out about people like that. But I just remember like walking into the dressing room and Taraji was standing like right there and she was getting dressed. And I wanted to ask her for a picture so bad, but I literally have never felt like such a like diva like energy. Like, I know I'm fierce, bitch. Like, just don't even try it, Miss Thing. Like, who is this little fucking cross-dresser in my dressing room? You know, because she was like getting up in her geese.
But she didn't say those words.
No, but she thought it. Because at the time, bitch, I was painted back and I had a wig on.
She got telepathy.
And I had fucking rhinestones the house down on, so she was probably just like, what is this little queen doing back here? Meanwhile, I was getting a little secret tour, rummaging through her things because I was friends with the stylist. And yeah, that was like my closest encounter. I haven't really met a lot of celebs, other than like when we did the thing with Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
That was obviously not that surreal because she was actually really
So
real
chill.
with us.
Yeah. She was sharing blunts with everybody. I was just like, I
sure
told her,
was.
I'm like, girl, you gonna get something on your lip, bitch. You don't know where these girls have been.
This bitch just got DP'd.
I'm saying.
On the Miley Cyrus tour, bitch. How
Y'all
dare
want
you?
some of this blunt?
Okay.
Yeah, she was like, all right. For me, it was just a couple weeks ago with I performed at the opening ceremony with Sasha Velour, and
For Fashion Week.
for Fashion Week, and they told me Nicki was in the building. They didn't tell me where she was.
Uh-oh.
So I start my number, da-da-da-da-da, and I turn to my right, and all of a sudden, there's Nicki Minaj in front row.
Stop.
With her camera phone just recording me and just going off while I'm performing. I was trying so hard to keep my shit together.
Did she
'cause I
tag
was,
you?
I don't know, but there's so many videos of like her recording
It don't
me.
count unless they tag a bitch, okay?
Your number was so good. I was there sitting in the VIP, and literally.
I love how you turned to camera to say that you were in
Oh,
VIP.
I just want to
For
make it
us
known.
peasants.
But Nicki was living for you. Like when you came out, I was watching her face because I wasn't that far from her, and she was like. And then when you started doing all like the reggae, she was like.
What song did you do?
It was a mix of everything, like a lot of like fun dance hall
Was there any
songs.
Nicki in the mix?
No, I was going to. Well, actually, no. The tea was. I was gonna end it with Cardi, but the mix was
And then
so
you got
long.
hit in the head. With a high heel. A Louboutin came
The guy,
early
no, that
across
was the guy. The thing was, Sasha was like, okay, your mix is way too long. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna have to cut Cardi. So I cut Cardi and I cut another song just to keep it under, a little under 5.
Time.
Same.
Thank you.
Same.
So I was saved.
Cut
The Lord
Cardi.
was looking and got good. Because I was like, what?
Girl, there was a lot of like celebrities at that show. I had a whole conversation with Kelly Rowland without knowing who she was right away in the bathroom. When I realized I was talking to Kelly Rowland, all I could think about was that one video of Destiny's Child where Beyonce says that she likes whales. You know that video where,
Yes.
where they were like, if
It
you
was
could be
one
an
of the
animal,
old
what would you
MTV
be? She
videos.
goes, I know what I would be. I would be a whale. I love whales.
That's so random.
And I was like, girl, this bitch is high.
Can I tell you how slow I am? When I heard that you guys were doing opening ceremony, I'm not a big fan. I was like, oh my God, it's the official opening ceremony for Fashion Week. I didn't realize the opening ceremony was a boutique brand. What is it? Yeah, I was like, oh wow, the opening. I thought it was like the Olympics. Like they have like torches. It's the opening ceremony.
To be honest, I thought that too.
I was like, wow.
Well, I was like, why is it in the middle of Fashion Week if it's the opening ceremony?
The
It was like
official opening
almost the
ceremony.
last day. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what was it?
Aja's turn.
She just said it.
Oh,
Oh, I don't really, like, for me, like,
you
I'm
just meet celebs all the
No,
time.
I'm just like very
She
unaware.
can't
so
stop.
No.
She can't stop meeting celebrities.
Stop! I'm just so unaware sometimes that I just have this like natural thing where I just talk to people and like
Yeah.
I'm just like, girl, like my mind is like, so then like, stop.
Who would you be like starstruck by?
I don't know. It's not more of like starstruck by meeting, but like I would just like to meet a few celebrities and pick their brains. Like I want to like talk to people.
Like who?
Like I want to like have conversations with like Nicki Minaj or like someone like Tyler the Creator. Like I just want to like meet people who are interesting and like see where they come from. I'm not really interested in meeting someone's fame. I really want to meet the
Sure.
person.
Yeah, and pick
Yeah.
their brains.
Pick their brains.
Elaborate on your brand.
Get her out of here. Security!
All right, well, since we're getting crazy right now,
Oh, we're just getting started. Mister.
second question is, who is the craziest queen to tour with?
Thorgy.
And the craziest tour story?
Shangela, she never sleeps. She never
true.
sleeps.
That's
She
true.
goes out
Oh,
on
yeah.
parties and she never sleeps.
She's like a bulldozer.
And she'll be the yeah. It's,
You remember
it's
she
I
lost
give
her-
them credit.
You remember when she
Lost
lost her
her-
passport in
Yep.
Spain? In about 20 minutes, she went to the embassy, got a new
Got it.
passport, hallelujah, grabbed her passport, showed it to the gig, did her number, went out to the club, and I was like, it's wow.
she's I don't get it.
she's
Made
a
up some
5 foot.
story.
Yeah.
She cried.
She's a
She made a
5 foot
whole
tornado.
yeah.
I think the craziest queen, she is just like, you're with her and you're like, oh my God, you are literally, you live in the fantasy.
Fantasy.
Valentina. When you are with Valentina, like, she is, like, the moment she gets to the gig.
You mean
first of
she's
all-
literally crazy?
I mean, not crazy, but she's like, first of all, every day
Method.
out of drag, she dresses like like someone at the mall offering you perfume. Like she's in all black.
She used to work.
Yeah.
Like she has like she looks like she works at like Prada or like every
where
day.
she used to work.
Every
Yeah.
day she's dressed like that. She wears a big wide brim hat as though every day, everywhere with these like clear, these like champagne pink acrylic nails.
Those are her real nails.
Or like
Yeah,
the
those are her
latex
nails.
gloves.
That's in
No,
day.
out of drag.
Out of drag.
Oh, right,
Big
yeah.
brim hat,
Well,
all black.
I've seen her out of drag with latex stuff on.
Okay.
And then she gets to the gig and she like is in her dressing room and she's like playing like disco music and she's in there like living like this.
She likes
whole-
to luxuriate.
Oh, and
Yeah.
she is. I mean, she is in. Like the fantasy is real. Like she
Yeah,
is like
real.
in.
Don't
a,
get it twisted though. She can get real bangy
Oh,
in a minute.
yes.
She really can.
I'm not gonna say nothing. It's the real her. I'm not gonna say nothing.
No, funny thing is that after that whole ordeal, I had actually became closer to her than almost everyone else on my cast, and she's just so crazy, like as a person, as a queen, as an individual. At some point, I was like, girl, this bitch has like borderline personality disorder. Like it's a thing. No, but like not in a bad way. I just like I
Yeah,
will
you have
never.
to tour her to get it. She's actually one of my favorite people
Yeah.
to tour with, but she is really in.
She's method
She's in the
acting.
fantasy. honey.
Okay.
I would never want to see her snap. That's one thing. I feel like if she snapped,
But I heard she doesn't really snap, and if she does it in a very like.
she's calm.
She's really calm.
Classy.
She's
But
always
those
calm.
Those are the ones.
You gotta
Those
look
are the
out for.
ones.
She gets the smile face when she's like.